Hi guys, and welcome back. This video is going to be a paranormal experience video. This video is called My Soul Left My Body. So first I just want to ask you guys, if you like my videos, please like and subscribe. I've been doing these videos since March, and I see that I have 720 followers and only 28 subscribed. So I'm trying to get my subscriber count up. So if you guys can, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. So this experience happened in the year 2001. Back in 2001, I was diagnosed with cancer, and it was the most traumatic experience probably of my whole life. They gave me 3 months to live, and if they gave me 3 months to live if I didn't go in for the surgery. So I knew that I had to go in for surgery, and it was so scary. It was something that I wouldn't wish on anyone. Cancer is just a horrible, horrible thing, and this affected my life in so many different ways. Of course, you know, I had to go in and get all of my organs removed. I had cervical cancer, so everything had to be removed, and I struggled for quite a long time. I kind of felt like I wasn't a woman anymore, because I don't know if I'm like the only woman that felt this way, that you know, once the doctors go in and take all your organs, your female organs out, that you're no longer a woman. I mean, I knew that I was one, but I kind of felt like I wasn't one. So that was so depressing. I had just turned 30. So I was young, and I never had children, so it was affecting me. And then the fact that my boyfriend of 3 years broke up with me right after that, and his excuse was because I couldn't have children. That was his excuse. That was the reason why he left me. And that was horrible on a lot of levels for me, because for someone to say that to you after they knew that you wanted children, and after they knew that you had cancer and that was the reason why you couldn't have children. So for someone after 3 years to look at you and say they didn't want you anymore because you couldn't have children was a very hurtful thing to say. And I noticed that played a major role in relationships after that. I noticed a lot of relationships that I got into that became serious, or at least what I thought was serious. A lot of the guys, when they were ready to leave me, would tell me the same thing, that they didn't want me because I didn't have any children. I mean, because I couldn't have children. So I think it really made my self confidence go down, and it made me feel like I was never going to meet anyone, and felt like I wasn't a woman because I couldn't bear children. So that was that. It was horrible. So when I found out that I had cancer, like I said, I was very depressed, and I did a lot of praying, you know, and stuff like that. And I remember this was 2 nights before my surgery. Me and my mom kind of sat down and prayed and had a really long conversation, because the thing was, they didn't know how far the cancer had spread until they went in and did the surgery. So the cancer could have spread further, but they wouldn't know until they went in. So 2 nights prior to me going in for my surgery, my mother told me that she was praying on angels to tell her if I was going to be fine or not. the next morning, that night, I saw something sitting on on my bed, and it was sitting there, and I could only see part of who was sitting there, and all I saw was the arm, and then I saw half of a wing. It was really weird, and I just looked at this being, and I knew that it wasn't a bad spirit. Like, I didn't get that feeling. I just had a feeling of overall calmness, and I heard this. Now, I know that it was an angel because I heard her tell me that everything was going to be fine. So when I woke up the next morning, I told my mom that I was visited by an angel, and she told me that everything was going to be fine. And she goes, so was I. And I was like, well, what did the angel look like? And she told me, I don't know, I couldn't see her. But all I saw was half of her wing and half of her arm. And then I told her my story, and our stories fit. It was really weird. And the weird thing was we were living at the time in the same house because I moved in there because I was sick. So I was like trying to get better, and my parents wanted to take care of me. So I moved back in with my parents. So the day of my surgery, I was wheeled in, and it was a really weird experience. It felt very surreal. It felt like it really wasn't happening, It felt like it wasn't happening. I've had so many, now I'm not trying to say poor me, that's not what I'm trying to say here, but I've had so many bad things happen to me over my life, so many traumatic things happen that I kind of know how to, my mind is wired, I guess, of a trauma. I'm not going to say victim because I'm not a victim. A trauma survivor, that my brain is wired to know how to take myself out of a situation. So when something bad is happening to me, my mind kind of knows how to, I don't know really how to explain it, but I can take myself mentally out of that place and put myself in another place. I don't know if that's making sense to anyone, but if something bad happens to me, I just go into like a different place mentally, so I can take myself out of it. So as I was being wheeled into surgery, I kind of took myself out of that place, and I brought myself to a totally different mindset and a totally different place, and I pretended like it wasn't me going in for the surgery. I know that sounds very strange, but I know how to do that, where I can pretend like whatever bad is happening is not really happening to Debbie, it's happening to someone else. So I'm kind of like watching a movie, and I'm watching it and I see myself, but it's not myself. It's really happening to someone else. I know that's weird, but that's how I've learned since I was a very young child to put myself into a different state of mind. So I was being wheeled into surgery, and my mother and my father were in the waiting room for me. And as I was going into surgery, like I said, I just put my mind somewhere else. And as the surgery was going on, obviously I was under, so I didn't know what was happening. Now, I don't know if I was dreaming. I truly don't think I was dreaming, because I saw myself looking down at myself. So it was like I was watching a movie. It was like I was watching a movie, but I could see myself. So I was lifted kind of up. I know I didn't die, but I was lifted up and I was watching the surgeons perform surgery on me. So I was looking down at myself and I clearly heard what they were saying, and it was really weird. I never knew this, but surgeons, my doctor had on music. He had on music, and they were actually singing to the music while they were performing surgery on me. And at one point, one of the nurses said, she has beautiful lashes. They're so long. Now, obviously, I have fake eyelashes on now, but at the time, that's what she said. So as I was watching this, I'm watching them perform surgery on me, and all of a sudden, I see the being, or I would say an angel, that came to visit me 2 nights before. And the angel was standing there. Now, all I saw was half of her arm and the wing. I don't know if maybe my eyes weren't picking up on the full angel, or if maybe they couldn't manifest properly and all I was seeing was the arm and the wing. And I looked at her and I said, I don't want to see me opened up. In other words, I didn't want to see them performing surgery on me. When I looked down on my body, I didn't see them cutting me open. It was more like I was watching it, but I was spared that part, but I knew what was going on. So I told the angel I didn't want to see that anymore. And with that, I felt us go up. Now, I don't think we went up to heaven because obviously I didn't not die during surgery. We went up and I went completely out of my body. Now, I do remember I could clearly still see myself laying on the table getting surgery. The angel took me out into the hospital. I clearly saw nurses walking all around. I clearly saw doctors walking up back and forth. We were in the hallway. So I can clearly see all that. I can clearly see other patients being wheeled around in chairs. We walked into different rooms and I can see like people in their beds, and it was really weird. We went into the waiting room and I can clearly see my mother sitting there and clearly see my father crying. It was so weird. It was bizarre. And with that moment happening to me, I knew that there was such a fine line between life and death. And I've never told anyone this story. I've kept this story to myself since this happened to me. I never told any friend, never told anyone. No one knows about this story now, and I'm just saying it online. And it's really weird to say this, but it feels good to get it out. You know, it feels good for me to talk about it. I have so many things happen to me in my life, and I just feel like this is a great platform for me to talk about these things to people. Anyway, back to the angel. So the angel really didn't say much to me. She seemed to be protecting me. She seemed to be calming me down. While I was with this angel, it kind of felt as though everything was going to be okay. And I kind of felt like even if I don't make it, I kind of felt like I was ready to go up. I was ready. Like if I was to die, I would have been fine because I felt like this angel was going to take care of me, and I felt a peace And I thought to myself, maybe I am going to die. Maybe this angel's taking me. So this angel walked all around with me throughout the whole hospital. Now, nobody could see me. It was really weird. I can see them. Obviously, they couldn't see me because we were walking through people. So I would see somebody coming towards me, and we would walk through them. It was very, very bizarre. A few seconds later, now this didn't last a really long time. A few seconds later, the angel took me back to the surgery room, and I felt myself get a little heavy, and then I felt myself fall. And when I fell back into my body. It was bizarre. I fell back into my body, and the angel left. The angel went up and I went down. It was really weird. I fell back down into my body, and then all of a sudden, a few minutes later or a few seconds later, I don't know, could have been an hour or two later, who knows, I was woken up by my doctor. I was woken up by my doctor, and I was wheeled out into the recovery room where my mom and my dad were. And I wanted so much to tell them, like, what I saw and how I saw my father, crying, and how I saw my mom sitting there. I wanted to tell them so much, but I kind of felt like maybe they would just think that I was under drugs, because obviously I was, I was put under, or maybe I had just dreamt it. I don't think I dreamt it. I truly believed to this day that I went out of my body. That's not the first time that I've gone out of my body. I have stories on that. And I think I'm going to do a video on a few places that I have gone to. I find the topic of astral projection so fascinating, and I have done that, so I do want to talk about that probably maybe next week. But yeah, that experience really taught me that it's like, at that moment when I saw that angel, I didn't know if I was going to die. I truly felt like I was going to die. I thought the angel was coming to take me away to heaven or wherever I was gonna go. So yeah, that's just my story, and it just really makes me believe in angels, and I think that's why I believe in angels and I believe in God so much, because I don't think without God and without my encounter with that angel that I would be as open as I am right now, because I truly believe in it. I truly believe in, like, angels. I truly do. I mean, I saw one. I did. I saw one, and it's crazy. Really crazy. And I've heard so many people that, like, stories about people that have gone up and, seen angels. And now I believe it 100% that it is real. I believe it. Anyway, that's my story. And if you like it, please like and subscribe. I'm trying to get my subscriber count up. It's only 28 subscribers. So if you are not subscribed, please do. And thank you so much, and have a great day. Bye.